The kingdom of Israel was an ancient sovereignty located within the land of Canaan, covering areas that correspond to modern-day Israel and the West Bank. It lasted from around 1050 to 722 BC and is remembered for dramatic events, iconic rulers, and major political as well as religious transformations. Its story is supported by both archaeological findings and biblical records. At first, the Israelites lived as tribal groups in a confederation, guided by judges, leaders who combined both military and spiritual roles. As nearby city-states grew stronger and external threats, especially from the Philistines, increased, the Israelites went through a significant political shift that led to the creation of a monarchy. Saul became the first king, ruling over the united Israelite tribes from 1050 to 1010 BC. His reign began with success but later became troubled by both internal and external struggles. After him came David, the most famous of Israel's kings, who ruled from 1010 to 970 BC. David expanded the kingdom's territory, made Jerusalem the nation's political and religious capital, and became renowned for his military skill and diplomatic wisdom, which brought peace and prosperity. David's son Solomon took the throne from 970 to 931 BC. He is remembered for his wisdom and for grand building projects, most notably the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. But after Solomon's death, unity among the Hebrew people broke apart. His son and successor, Rehoboam, refused to ease the heavy taxes his father had imposed, sparking rebellion. 10 of the tribes rejected him and instead chose Jeroboam I, Solomon's former official, as their king. Jeroboam's rise had even been foretold by the prophet Ahijah. This event marked the end of Israel's tribal unity and the beginning of two separate kingdoms: the northern kingdom of Israel under Jeroboam I, and the southern kingdom of Judah under Rehoboam. The northern kingdom first established its capital in Shechem, later moved it to Tirzah, and finally to Samaria. From its very beginning, the kingdom's history was marked by instability, idolatry, prophetic warnings, and wars. Jeroboam I, fearing that his people might return to Jerusalem to worship at the temple, created alternative religious centers. He built 2 golden calves and placed them at Bethel and Dan, declaring, "Here are your gods, O Israel." Though this move may have been politically motivated, it was strongly condemned by the prophets as a grave sin. The departure from monotheistic worship among the Israelites continued after Jeroboam, as later kings maintained the same practices. This unfaithfulness became a recurring tradition in the kingdom of Israel, lasting until its eventual collapse. The northern kingdom endured a turbulent history defined by political instability. Dynasties seldom lasted long, and assassinations, conspiracies, and violent overthrows were frequent. One striking example was King Zimri, who ruled for only 7 days before taking his own life. After him, Omri, a military commander, seized the throne and finally brought some stability. Around 880 BC, he made Samaria the new capital, founding Israel's most influential dynasty. His descendant Ahab would later become one of the most controversial monarchs in Hebrew history. Throughout the kingdom's existence, religious practices were often caught between devotion to Yahweh and the pull of Canaanite traditions. Prophets such as Elijah and Elisha consistently condemned the kingdom's turn toward idolatry. Ahab's reign highlighted this conflict even more, as his marriage to Jezebel, a Phoenician princess and devoted follower of Baal, the Canaanite storm and fertility god, brought Baal worship official recognition in Israel. With Jezebel's influence, many Israelites turned to foreign gods. In this climate, the prophet Elijah emerged as a fierce defender of Yahweh, declaring him the only true God of Israel. Later, Elisha anointed the military commander Jehu, charging him to end Ahab's dynasty. Jehu carried out this mission ruthlessly, killing King Joram, Queen Jezebel, and the entire royal family of Ahab. Though he eradicated Baal worship, Jehu still maintained the old sanctuaries at Bethel and Dan, showing a blend of zeal and compromise. In the 8th century BC, under the rule of Jeroboam II, Israel reached its greatest height since the days of David and Solomon. The kingdom enjoyed prosperity, trade expansion, and military strength. Yet beneath the surface, deep corruption spread. Prophets such as Amos and Hosea condemned the wealthy elite for exploitation, the suffering of the poor, and the hypocrisy of offering sacrifices while neglecting justice. After Jeroboam II's reign, the kingdom quickly descended into chaos. In just about 2 decades, multiple rulers rose and fell. The final king, Hosea, rebelled against Assyrian control by seeking support from Egypt. This proved disastrous. Assyria's king Shalmaneser V, and later Sargon II, launched a siege of Samaria that lasted 3 years. In 722 BC, the capital finally fell. The kingdom of Israel was destroyed. Large portions of the population were deported to distant lands, while foreign settlers were brought in, following Assyria's policy of cultural assimilation. This marked the scattering of the northern Israelites and the disappearance of the so-called 10 lost tribes, absorbed into other cultures and lost to history. The fall of the Kingdom of Israel was a turning point in the ancient Near East, reshaping the region's political and cultural order. Yet, its legacy has endured, leaving a lasting mark on religious, historical, and cultural memory, deeply shaping the foundations of both Jewish and Christian identity. All